Hey, everybody. Welcome in. This is the Spiritual View, and I am Wendi. This is your daily divine forecast for Thursday, June 19th. We're coming up on the summer solstice. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos this week. If you got to catch yesterday's video, that was our Wild Card Wednesday, and I believe Ruby was our guest host, and she will be joining us tonight with our Thursday night live. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So please join us for that. We're going to be talking about the summer solstice and how the sun is going to be entering Cancer. So I'm sure John will get you guys all hooked up with all of that information. Okay, so for today's daily divine forecast, I used the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. And I'm using a new deck for the tarot. It's the Storyteller's Tarot. Okay. So I just asked for advice from Spirit for the collective, anything that we need to know about what we need to be doing going into this summer solstice. So the first card I got, which is our current situation, I got Deep Freeze. I don't know if you can see that. So you see this mighty lion here just laying down on the ice. And I mean, he just looks exhausted, quite honestly. So this is a 26 card. It goes down to an 8, and 8s are kind of putting in the work. And, you know, we've been doing months and months and months of having just one thing after another, and doing the work, right? On the things that we're manifesting, on relationships, on what we're going to let go of and move on from. And we've been putting in a lot of work, right? So this card is actually about kind of taking that energy that we've been spending the last several months just putting outward and bringing that energy back in to ourselves, right? We need to pull our energy back. We need to slow down. Okay. We need to let the ideas just gestate. Okay. Let them brew in there for a bit. We don't have to make any big decisions right now. Just let things kind of be. Okay. You want to let your projects shift and change as they will. You're kind of stepping back as an observer right now. Okay. Let relationships just enter into kind of a dreamy state of being. You know, they don't have to go anywhere, and they don't need to. Okay. They can just kind of stay with the status quo for right now. Okay. You don't need to get into any kind of arguments or anything like that. It's not going to serve you. It's not going to help you. It's not going to do anything to help move you forward. So just let it be. The key takeaway from this card here is that self-care is the most important activity right now. I'm going to say that again. Self-care is the most important activity right now. And I know it's come up several times in the last couple of weeks of this message saying it's time for self-care. But you really need to do this. You really need to kind of pull back and bring your energy back to you and take care of yourself. And I'm going to tell you why this is happening. So this is happening because of the Queen of Spikes. It's a way to help you clear your thinking, okay? It's boosting your logic and not leading with emotion as much, right? Okay, it's kind of tapping into your analytical side a little bit. Because I think as light workers and healers, a lot of times, you know, most of us are empaths, and we really put a lot of our energy and emotion into the work that we do and in our relationships and in helping others. And it's exhausting. I don't know how any of you feel, but I have just been absolutely exhausted lately. It's just been kind of one thing after another. I feel like I'm not getting any downtime. And I'm sure there are a lot of you that feel that way too. And it's like you start to feel like you're getting a handle on things, and then something else comes in that you have to deal with and handle, right? So it's been a lot. We've been dealing with so much, and it's been really hard to get that self care, to make that time for ourselves. And so when we can kind of pull back from everything and give ourselves a break that we deserve, that we have earned at this point, really, okay? And let your emotions kind of heal, let them snuggle in and get cozy and warm again, and just breathe and relax, okay? And then remember, we're letting those ideas kind of brew, right? So let your intellect take over there, and just start to try to get an intellectual understanding. Look for truth. Look for what really rings true. Having rational thinking. It's a lot easier to think clearly and kind of declutter our minds when we can take a step back, right, emotionally, and just kind of relax and let go of that, because then we're not just holding on to how everything feels all the time. So then that allows us to kind of process. This is a time to process all of these things that we've been dealing with for so long, right? Okay, so our guidance and our best move forward with this is the Eight of Coins. Um, this is really having focused energy. So this is honing your skills. Maybe you should take a class, okay, or join a group of like-minded people. Broaden your skill set. Okay, this is a really good time to do this, because this is going to help you moving forward. So all of the kind of emotional turmoil that we've been working through, healing of old wounds, mending or letting go of relationships, all of this stuff that we've been working on for months, it's time to kind of just take a break from all of that and shift our focus, and really we're taking care of ourselves, right? And we're figuring out what it is that we want, where we want our focus to be, right? Getting some clarity, clearing out, processing all of these thoughts, figuring out where we want it to go so that we can really focus that energy now and start moving forward in the direction that we want, right? So I love this for our best move forward, because it's also really hard to feel confident about taking that step forward, signing up for that class or joining that group, when you feel like you can't take a breath or take a beat or catch up, right? If you feel like you're not having the time to really take care of yourself, then going like kind of a step above and beyond with helping yourself in moving forward, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So that's why we really need to step back, have self-care, take care of ourselves so that we can take these steps forward, which will enrich us, right? And enlighten us and help us on our path forward, which is beautiful. All right. So the blocks or challenges that you may have, I thought this was super interesting because I got the Fool. So this is having trouble with coming to terms maybe with being asked to trust that the universe has your back. If your guys are, having similar experiences that I've had, I think most of us have been burned at least once along our path, right? So it can be hard to trust sometimes that it's going to go the way that it should. And that blocks us, that gets in our own way when we hold on to that doubt or that fear that it's not going to work out, right? And that's a tough one to let go of too, because even though, yes, you are hopeful for the future and the things that you've been manifesting and the things that you've been working on and the things that you want, and you want it to come true, you want these things to come in, sometimes it's still a little hard to believe it, that it could happen, right? So if you're feeling that hesitation in moving forward and really, trusting that things are lining up the way that they should, things are unfolding the way that they should, which I think is totally understandable to have that hesitation, especially when, for many of us, I think the world feels like it's kind of upside down at the moment. And we're just like, okay, I'm not quite sure if I can move forward with full confidence that things are going to turn out the way I want, because from where I'm sitting, it's hard to see how that's going to happen, right? That's what we have to trust. We have to trust these messages that are coming through and saying, hey, take care of yourself, enrich yourself, move forward, trust that it will work out the way that you want it to. But I would say, go ahead and look for things, pay attention. Let me rephrase, pay attention for any signs of things that you feel like are impeding you, are blocking your way. You don't want to go in, you don't have to go into the future blind. Okay. You can absolutely prepare. And this is part of that preparing, taking a class, gaining more knowledge, gaining more support, joining that group, doing these things that helps prepare you for what you've been asking for to come in. It's going to set you in a better place. So you're actually, by doing this, you're creating that future. Okay. You're giving this you're giving this an anchor by doing that, right? So this future that you've been asking for, by taking these steps, right, and doing the next step, you're anchoring this and making it real. And that is exciting. It's super exciting. It's also scary because, sometimes, we ask for things and then it happens and we're just like, whoa, wait, am I actually ready for this? Yes, you are. This is what you've been preparing for. This is why you've been going through all of this stuff for the last 6, 7, 8 months, right? So it's here, it's coming. But again, right now, take care of yourself, self-care, get yourself balanced, right? Get yourself grounded. Try to see things through, a logical lens so that and can have confidence in taking that next step forward for what you want to be doing. And then you get to help cement that future. That's beautiful. All right. So our final card, our advice from Spirit, is One Ring Circus. Kind of a one-man show, right? So this is a 15 card, reduced down to 6. That's kind of getting over the hump of change, right? We've been just drowning in change, it feels like, for a while. So we're coming through. And this is about self-reliance, right? Creating and maintaining those clear boundaries that we've been working on. So this is kind of your maintenance, okay? And it's also knowing yourself. So with everything that we've been going through, if you take the time to take care of yourself and really self-reflect and process everything that has been happening, and you can look back, you should be able to see how much actually that you've grown, right? And the change that you have had. And that will help you to know yourself better, to have a better understanding of you. It will help you find your balance. And it also, having that balance, it makes you feel more whole, right? It's like, so you don't have these holes or these gaps where where you need to be filled, right? You've been filling your cup, right? So you're not going forward with an empty cup anymore. So you're learning to fill your cup, right? And definitely part of that is that self-care, filling your cup, doing things for you, gaining knowledge, learning, getting support. That is all filling your cup, right? And that allows you to attract relationships that mirror your wholeness. Okay. And I'm not talking about just romantic relationships, although that is absolutely a possibility too. You're going to be attracting, you know, it's going to affect all of your relationships with love, with work, with family, everything, with friends. Okay. And even your relationship with yourself. So you've raised the vibration there, right? So now you're going to start attracting that energy back. And, you know, with that, you're going to be capable of anything. Sky's the limit. I mean, really, when you can get to where you know you and you trust you, right? And you're gonna feel healthier because you're more whole, right? So that's why this self-care is so important, um, to be able to heal, reflect, take that next step forward with confidence, right? Cement your future, and then it puts you in a much better place, the place that you've been asking for, that you've been manifesting, right? This is showing you the stepping stones to get there. These are the kind of these next steps, right? To getting where it is that you want to be. This is awesome. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please share, like, subscribe, and comment. And I can't wait to see you guys tonight in our Thursday Night Live, 7 p.m. Eastern. Put a heart in the comment, and we'll try and get a reading in for you. Okay. I'll see you tonight. Thanks.